Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to all the new guys. Over the last couple of days, obviously, I've had quite a few new subscribers, which is good. Unfortunately, it was due to the circumstances around Droodles. Of course, Droodles' channel's now gone, so I think a lot of them people are sort of have subscribed to me. That's the only way I could see it, because obviously my channel grows very, very slowly, and over the last couple of days I've got quite a few more 100 subscribers. I've now reached 65,000 subscribers, so do help me along to the 69,000. That is my ultimate goal. Well, my end goal, of course, has always been the 100,000, but 69,000, I'm sure we can aim for 69,000. Those of you that are new to the channel, there are a few series that I do. Of course, the World of Dummies series, the free-to-play series, which is very rare, but that is what we're going to do today. And of course, I do have monthly giveaways, so make sure you are subscribed, because you don't want to miss especially the free giveaway. Tier 10 giveaways, tier 9 giveaways, tier 8 giveaways, all depends on how we feel. Of course, also from October, now this has nothing to do with the Droodles leaving. I've already announced it many months ago. From October, I will be starting streaming again, so yeah, stay tuned. But today we're going to look at free to play. Now basically what I wanted to revisit is, can you play World of Tanks Blitz without spending money on the game? So this is my free-to-play account that I haven't played in such a long time, and playing it today, I managed just to get the E100. So that is now my second tier 10 tank for free. I've managed to keep my stats, but again, the stats mean nothing when you have a reroll. Really, it's very easy to get high stats when you are playing on a reroll. But ultimately, can you play this game for free? And I'm not just talking about can you get high stats for free. Is it possible to play the game for free? And yes, the simple answer is, of course, definitely yes. Now, the best thing about that is, and I've said it before, is the amount of free tanks Wargaming do give away. Now, I've not got many free tanks. I could have actually had a lot more, but I just haven't played. I've kind of abandoned the tank. So when Wargaming do sort of free tanks, or when they do event tanks and stuff like that, I haven't really been coming onto this this account, especially things like the Ritter. And yeah, I could have got that for free, but yeah, I just didn't have the time to play it on both accounts. Of course, I do focus on my main account first, but you can see some of the tanks. Now, I don't need, and that's the same with anybody, you don't need all the premium tanks in the world. You just need a couple. And if you want to maintain the high, not just so much the high win rate, but the high average damage, of course you do need the higher premium tanks. And for me, I've got the 50 TP prototype, which, no, tier 9 is good enough for me. It would be nice to have a tier 10, but you know, there is plenty of time for that. And of course, I've got a few tier 7s as tier 6, and I've got the Panzer 38. Now, I'm a bit annoyed actually, because Wargaming, in the store, they are giving away sort of a massive container for free. I clicked it, then I went to record, so I backed out, and then it just went. So I don't know, or maybe I'll get it back, I don't know, but very, very annoying, because I could have got another free tank, but sadly that is not the case. And what I would always recommend, what I'm now doing with this E100, because I am I was only 75% crew. One thing I would definitely strongly recommend when you are grinding tanks, not just grinding sort of the crew, but grinding the modules and everything like that, what I would definitely recommend is to play the special game modes. Now, of course, now is Big Boss, because it helps you get that XP. And of course, on top of that, it does not affect your win rate, and of course you can then earn credits as well. So ultimately, yes, the game is definitely a free to play game. You could definitely play it for free. Will you struggle? I mean, I don't think you're going to struggle, because nowadays there are a lot of good not collectibles, there's a lot of good tech tree tanks out there, and some of the lines, you know, the E75 for example, I've been playing it on my free to play account for a while. I've just managed to sell it and get enough credits, and that for me is the biggest thing, the hardest thing. On my own account I've got like 200-300 million credits, not a problem, but when you start playing on a new account, it is kind of hard to get those credits. And as I've said, I've had to sell the Tiger 1, the Tiger 2, and now the E75 to be able to afford the E100. So that is the biggest thing, I think, playing a free-to-play account, is having enough credits. Now, even now with the E100, I'm only playing it with the first equipment because I just can't afford to get the rest. So I'm going to have to play a premium tank, which I don't mind. Again, I've got the 50 TP. If I want to maintain my stats, I can go down to tier 7 or tier 6 if I want to, but ultimately my ultimate aim for this account was to get good win rate and to get a high average damage. And now if I'm going to play tier 7 and tier 6s, that average damage will drop. So I'm happy to play the 50 TP. And again, if you are playing the game, if you've just joined the game, don't feel that you need to spend money on the game, because there are plenty of opportunities to be able to get these tanks. Now, if you are joining and you play, or if you've joined recently and you play regularly, then you'll be able to get these tanks quite easily. And again, as I've said, when there is free tanks, I normally just focus on my main account. And if I've got time, excuse me, if I've got time, then I will maybe play on this account, as I have done with a few of the tanks that you've seen. And I've got a couple of tanks, and I haven't spent a single penny on this game. So it is entirely possible. And again, yes, you're not going to get the most OP tanks. You're not going to get things like the Badger, the XM, or the Smasher, or the Annihilator, or anything like that. Of course, you're not going to be able to get them, but it is definitely entirely possible to play this game fine. There are plenty of free-to-play players out there that have never spent money in the game. My good friend Bob de Cluzak, he's been playing a very long time, and he's got over 70% win rate. He's never had a new account. It is his old account, and he's never re-rolled, and he's got over 70% win rate, and he's done that very easily, and he's never spent a penny in the game. And then you've got his Royal Fatness, the same situation. He is absolutely probably, what if not the best player in the game, and he has never spent money in the game. Now, the thing with Fatness, of course, he does play in tournaments. He was in an OP clan, and yeah, they managed to get sort of winnings, which is gold, and of course he's managed to buy premium tanks from them winnings. But you know, he still never spent money in the game, and that is what I ultimately wanted to get out. Everyone says it's a play to win. But I don't think it is. I don't think it is pay to win, sorry. I think it is definitely doable without spending a single penny in the game. You've just got to be patient, and that is the thing. You've just got to be a lot more patient. And for me, it's not about the tanks. I can enjoy all the tech tree tanks, especially when I get to tier 10s. Like, I can happily play all the tech tree tanks without playing a premium tank. But the biggest thing is to get the credits. I'm not bothered about even XP, because again, that will come, and that is what the special game modes are for. So you don't need to just buy a tank. You don't need to get a tier like a Leopard PTA, which is, when it's stock, it is absolutely bad. Get the Leopard PTA, get it stock, go play boss mode or something like that to gain the XP in them tanks. And then it's not going towards your stat. Doesn't matter if you don't win, and you can get the tier 10 very quickly indeed. So yeah, definitely a free to play game. If you want it to be. Of course, you do have to pay the money if you do want the better tanks, but there's always ways around it. There is always ways around it. You've got the battle pass. Yes, it's not the paid one, but you can still, you know, everything at the top, so you can still earn credits, you can still earn free XP, you can still earn the screens there. So yeah, you know, 1,300 screens, I'm not going to be able to do it because it's just too late for me. But 1,300, that won't quite get me the E10. But you know, if you played often enough, you could get at least some of these tanks for free. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.